Alright folks, so welcome to episode 11 and this is what drives you after school life. And yes, we have 4 people over here including myself and 3 of us of the same batch and 1 extremely junior. Alright, now firstly we have, are we going to call you Seha or Lina?
Seha.
Seha, but on screen it's still going to be Lina anyway. Alright, this is my god sis down here, Lina, behind the screen always, behind the scenes always with the video camera. My dear brother of mine over here, Irfan, and also we have Ismail, who's our junior here, and he is from, what year did you graduate from?
2016.
2016.
2016.
Alright, for the 3 of us, what year did we graduate in? 2006. Jeez. 2006 is dude, that's like a decade over you. Yeah. Just talk about yourself from your passions and how it led up after school life.
Hi guys, my name is Ismail and I have the passion in doing magic for the past 9 years. So I was like a performer back then when I was back in school.
Right.
So I studied filmmaking and visual effects, but I did visual effects first during my NITEC days, then filmmaking in my high NITEC days. Then after I went to NS, I was a transport operator, free license.
Transport
operator,
okay.
Yes. Then right after NS, I just started doing events full time. Yeah, that's my story. Short and simple.
What got you into it and why are you still in it? I mean, it is somewhat quite difficult to actually be in this line because some months can be quite
Not so stable and whatsoever.
Exactly. So what makes you persevere into it?
I believe like whatever that I'm doing in my 8 years or 9 years being a freelance, right? I believe like passion into being a career, and I believe that I can do it. So till today, that's my career.
So what is your main focus in events?
I'm a MC/magician. Yeah. So I take these 2 talent as an MC and magician to combine together in my showbiz, so that I can do up something different. Because some MCs like have just MCs and sing, MCs and dance. So I'm like a MC and a magician at the same time.
Right.
Yes.
So what kind of events do you focus on?
Mainly I'm doing kids parties. Kids parties, but along the way learning a lot of different kinds of events to host or bid or whatsoever.
And you've been hosting professionally for about 8 years now or lesser?
It's lesser.
Roughly?
I maybe 2-3 years.
Wow, that's actually
Yes.
quite short, huh?
Yes,
Think
correct.
about it.
But magic is the main thing about myself actually.
Right. So people know you as Magic.
Magic Man Ismail.
Right, Magic Man Ismail. Alright, so is it sustainable to actually be a freelancer?
Right. For me, it's a yes because I have picked up of like a few talents. So I'm a magician, I'm an MC, I'm a photographer, and I'm an event DJ as well. So when there is like maybe like in the particular week there is no magic shows or MC jobs, I have like those photography jobs is gonna come in here and there. So I like have like a few freelance options to be doing the service for the client.
Right. Alright, so is your passion still inclined with filmmaking as what you actually took in ITE?
The answer is no.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but I didn't thought of taking events management in ITE. I
Right.
don't know why. Because like during the weekdays I like just go for my normal lessons whatsoever. But weekends I do my freelance magic shows and everything. But I didn't know why I didn't took the events management course when I was back in ITE. Okay, the reason why I took the high NITEC in filmmaking is because my NITEC is visual effects. So-called there's like a link to the high NITEC course that I'm taking for my graduation, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
There are a lot of times people have the tendency of after school they will just do any odd jobs to just get past. But what really drives you after school?
It's all about your passion. So like
Let me interject that. What is passion to you?
it's like from like doing a hobby, then to a passion, then from passion, and now it is like my career already.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel that what is your interest or whatsoever, you just have to go it all out lah.
How was life like in ITE?
It was like quite was like an enjoyable one for me. like every day I'm like looking forward to go to schools and everything because of friends, and the lessons that is being brought through every day.
Did you have any good-looking teachers? I don't remember us having good-looking teachers. Do you remember having any good-looking teachers?
It's a big no.
It's a big no. Yeah. All I remember was the only interesting thing about our classes was that Freddy the skeleton. Do you remember Freddy skeleton? Was it Freddy skeleton? Was it Freddy? In our year 1, there was a huge skeleton at the back of the class.
Yes.
Freddy.
Yeah.
Freddy the skeleton.
I remember his name.
Yes, I do. Was there a Freddy the skeleton in?
No, I don't think so. I think it's like back in your days maybe. Yeah.
Back in my days. What are you trying to say
in
here?
your school days.
In my school days. Walao. So when did you actually start ITE?
ITE 2012, 2014, NITEC, 2014, 2016, high NITEC.
What
then
was the first course that you took?
Visual effects. So it's like more like a green screen, video editing, edit posts, whatsoever. We did for our student actually. For my NITEC, I was like first year in ITE College Central, Tampines. Then another year I went to ITE Ang Mo Kio. When I was in NITEC, I had like 2 different ITEs to go to, but still in the Central. Then when I was in high NITEC, I was in Ang Mo Kio all the way, the new ITE Ang Mo Kio.
Ismail, do you see yourself on the same path in about 5 years going?
Okay, I think because I just like believe in whatever I'm doing. For the next 5 years, I'm gonna do the same thing, or maybe I'm gonna upgrade to a bigger scale or a corporate client.
Would you say that the average ITE student has any disadvantage/advantage over, let's say, non-ITE student or a generic path student?
The answer is no. Because like for me, I took smaller steps. Like some of them go from ITE then to poly straight right. So for me, whatever that you guys are going to do in your studies, just go with the flow actually. Yeah, because some of them like ITE, poly, but for me, I ITE, NITEC, high NITEC. But I didn't choose for poly. I straight away started events full time. So I believe that does not mean that you are a poly student or whatsoever you will have good job scope or whatsoever, because like depends on individual. Like for me, I stopped with the high NITEC because I don't go to poly, so I just stopped at high NITEC and I opened my own business to run in the events line.
How do you start your life as an entertainer?
Okay, because like I always believe in making people happy and entertain people throughout. Because like I said, that I was like a freelance for the past 9 or 8 years, being a magician. So for me, being a magician is all about entertaining people, making people happy. For events, it's like I feel it's a fun thing, because like for every event we will go to different locations to perform or whatsoever. So I'll meet a lot of different people, entertain different age group as well. From there, putting my entertainment line, that's what brought me into emceeing.
My name is Irfan Young. To clarify my name, I'm half Chinese, half Malay, which is what I have the here. And I'm primarily an illustrator/designer, and I've been a freelancer for about 6 years now.
We are 31 this year.
We are 30 something years.
Okay.
Yes.
So after poly, then you went to NS?
Okay, after ITE, we had that 1 year of loafing around where I was waiting for NS, and then I went to NS. Towards the end of my ORD, I got news of Nanyang Poly's open house. That's when I actually decided to, hey, why not give it a try? I didn't think I was going to get in. I managed to get in through portfolio, and that's how my 3 years of poly started. I studied digital animation. Then after I graduated, I did a few full-time jobs. Then that's when I decided that it is not really for me. Then I decided to embark on my freelance path. How that started in specifics was in 2014, I got to know about this event called Matchbox, where they did a feature on all the comic artists. I got to meet other freelancers who were doing comics and art in Singapore. Decided to make friends with them. I made a network with them. And then from there, I met my mentor, who later showed me the ropes on how to do freelancing in Singapore. And that's what I've been doing for the past 6 years now.
During ITE,
Right.
was your passion always in illustration?
Yes and no. I think there was a period of time where both of us were quite into filmmaking,
Yes.
right? Then that's when we started to kind of like cut class, and then we would work on our films.
Don't tell people that. Our juniors could hear us. It's not a good thing to tell them that we actually skipped class, you know that? It's a very bad thing.
Okay, so I neither confirm nor deny the skipping class part, but we focused a lot on our filmmaking to the point where my GPA actually kind of suffered, which is kind of a surprise as to how I got into poly in the first place. But anyway, that's how it happened. So we didn't do well for the other subjects, but we managed to make quite a nice film. I would say so myself. I would say illustration, drawing in general has always been my thing. I was always kind of defined by drawing. That was what I was known for. Irfan, the guy who draws.
What still drives you as a freelancer, and what drives you after school life?
When I was doing my full-time jobs, okay, my first
Wait,
job.
you had a full-time job?
Yes. So for 3 months, I worked in an architecture firm. Okay. I was doing the digital Photoshop department, and for another month after that, I was doing editing, as in for school textbooks and whatnot. One of the 2 publishers in Singapore. I was doing editing for this company. Then that's when I had my epiphany that I remember it to this day. Right, I had this epiphany where I was telling myself, am I going to, because these were very far places, my workplaces. One was in Red Hill, another one was in Buona Vista, more specifically Commonwealth. Then every day in the MRT, I was like, standing, I had to change between 2 very busy stations. Then I was thinking to myself, do I want to, essentially go to a job just so that I can feed myself, just so that I can go to a job the next day? So it became a vicious cycle for me, and I didn't see myself, if I stuck on that path, I didn't see myself growing in any way. Personal growth, I feel, is more important, and more important than having a salary. And knowing myself, I will probably languish and let my passion die if I stuck to that path. So that's why I decided to make the leap into the precarious but rewarding, personally, world of freelance.
How would you define freelance to you?
Freelance is the ability to say no, where in a company you will have no choice. In the context of dealing with the clients, for example, in the context of dealing with your bosses, basically command your career path. You can decide to go anywhere you want in this path. Whether you just decide to just branch out into another passion, you can do that. You have the freedom to do that. I would say if you had to summarize it into one word, it would be freedom. But at the same time, not in the sense that, let's say for example, a fresh graduate would equate freedom.
Would you change it even if you were given a full-time gig on a monthly salary which draws in 5-figure, 6-figure?
You see, in my path of 6 years, I have met multiple people who join salaries of 5 figures. I've met people who join salaries of 6 figures, 7 figures, and whatnot. They've been my clients, they've been my friends, they've been, and yes and no. Some of the poorest people I've met are CEOs. I've also met people who were paying themselves $300 a month just to keep their studios alive. After a while, you start to learn that a person's income bracket does not equate to their standing in society, because you're meeting these people and you're calling them on first name basis. That Mr. barrier which you have with your boss is removed. I would say that's another kind of perk of freelance, in that you get to see people as they are, because they are approaching you as a person, not necessarily as a company.
What does your family think about you being a freelancer?
I was very fortunate in the sense that, which I would say for other potential freelancers as well, is that you need the support of your family, be it financially, be it morally, be it on some days where you just have to motivate yourself that, hey, I need to go out and make the money today. Sometimes if let's say for example, you have a child, right? You also tell yourself that, hey, my child is not gonna feed herself, so I need to be the one to bring home the bread, for example.
I would say that you've been blessed to actually have families and friends who are actually giving you the best of the support being a freelancer.
I would say I am blessed with having the strength of character to stick to the path, because part of what you need is the ability to stay determined. So it's very easy to feel downtrodden in your day-to-day job. It's like, okay, then one day you just decide, I'm gonna go out and do my own thing. But as the months go by, as the savings go down, you start to realize that it's a lot more of a pragmatic concern. As they say, amateurs consider tactics, then professionals consider logistics.
Yeah.
So after a while, it becomes a question of passion versus the means to chase that passion. So in the sense that I've always had that strength of character to stick to whatever it is that that I started upon, and so far it's had its own rewards. You and me go way back.
Way back.
13 years now. Can you give me a rough breakdown of what you did after graduation from IT?
After graduation of IT, I did a couple of months as a waiter in a Turkish restaurant, and after which I went to Australia. Oh no, wait, sorry. NS first. And then after that I worked as a waiter, and then afterwards that's when I went over to Australia to become a chef. So I was there for 3 years. Then I came back to a whole different story. After I was actually starting to become a chef and I actually wanted to live there, but I decided to come back to actually, well, get married to my wife. And afterwards what happened was that I became a commis sommelier for the Laser Main Group. I was there for about 1.5 to 2 years. That was my longest full-time job I ever had.
Wow, okay.
And then after that I became a sommelier for a few other restaurants and Australian brand. Why I actually went into that line was because coming out from normal technical and going into IT, we never had the privilege to actually learn about geography, neither history. So that was the reason why I went into it. Then I took myself the ACTA certificate to actually become a trainer, just a generic trainer. And the first training job that I got after in the F&B scene was with the Adam Khoo group, so the AK LTG, Learning Technology Group. And so that's when I actually still am a freelance trainer for them. As a sommelier, and when I became a trainer, I got to know this really cool guy. His name is Keagan Kang. So he's a well-renowned actor, and the reason why I really got to thank him for this is because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have actually gone back into the media scene once again. So that's when I actually became an actor. I got into voiceover acting, and it brought me back once again as what we are doing this once more. And really grateful to him. Yeah, nice. Does it go way back during the ITE days, or is it referring to whether Keagan Kang actually inspired me further into filmmaking? I would say solely I would go back all the way to ITE days. I mean, it was friends like us, like who the two of you actually got me going into it, going back to ridiculous days where we hanged out under void decks, once again like the pondos over here. And yeah, I mean, filmmaking has always been inspiring me because the motivational sense to always go back and sharing with people that filming speaks more than photography, and it gives a stronger sense of motivational more than photos can speak. Friends like us goes way back, because the thing is that literally we don't meet for years and then suddenly we get back together, or we just text each other a message, and that to me is what friendship is all about.
You've made quite a few films in ITE. Do you foresee that you'll be remaking any of those films anytime soon?
Look, I would love to. Honestly, we had Don't Date Ricky. We had a few others which we were inspired. We had PPI, which was just more of like a paranormal investigator thing going on with Played and Paranormal Investigators. The Gay Ninja. Yeah, definitely I would want to redo all these films. It's just that we need that sense of sponsorship, because right now where we have gone through and to drag back all these people that we have known, from Sophian to getting Jason back into the game, it's going to be quite tough. I mean, Jason has been reaching out to me to do Don't Date Ricky and Athma Warrior once again, and I'm like, maybe not now. Reason being is to support the family, and the reason why we're doing Top List Tuesday and SG Kali and me, it's just one huge portfolio, and the reason why this episode is done for on episode 11 is to actually showcase that ITE is not the end, and ITE was in fact just the beginning for all of us, and to showcase where we started and how we're going to be ending off with a bigger bang. So this is just being a big portfolio to showcase and outreach to everyone else.
What was your biggest reality check after ITE?
Number one, what really hit me was when Kali was born, my daughter was born. And secondly, when a lot of downfalls with me and the missus, and so that is why I decided to actually, a huge reality check kicked in, because I will only want the best for my family now, as what has happened with me. So reality check, family. Instant family. I suppose for the three of you unmarried yet, no kids, or maybe kids that you all do not know about. Basically, I guess having a kid is what really takes upon me.
Was there any disadvantages that came along with you being a ITE student?
Yes and no. Let me start with yes. Now, being an ITE student has a downfall as just having a certificate, and people stigmatize even till today that ITE does not qualify you to any proper jobs. Then again, having that ITE certificate also gives me the advantage that, the way that we speak, the way that we actually walk the talk and talk the talk, it really showcases that we are different from a lot of other people out there. So the stigmatization, the stigma of ITE is a huge change. Having us to showcase the difference. Look at even like James Kumar also coming off from ITE himself. Look at us where we are now and doing this. So yes, I would say that with the no to it is that it really helped us to outshine everyone else, to really showcase what raw talent really is all about. So look at many of our peers, look at many of it from your class and even our class, and even in fact when Suvita's class also, they had all that people in there also who are still in doing designing. So these are the people who are still going out very strong, that it changes the perception into ITE.
Any words of guidance, inspiration, or like just what to expect for the prospecting ITE graduate?
People always say never give up on your dreams, but here's the thing, when you dream, you just sleep on it. You don't actually put a reality check to it. But when you set your goals into things, that is your reality check. Never give up your goals. My goal was always to be a filmmaker, always to be in front of the camera. And I think the point has come that not just to entertain, to inspire, to aspire, to always show that changes are constant. How you change life and how you change your life is a whole different thing. Whatever it is, never give up on yourself, never give up on others. And that is why I can clearly say that friends like us here is that we never meet up as often, but that's what makes it really solidified. This is true friendship. You do not need to meet on a single day basis. You do not need to meet on a weekly basis, a monthly, a yearly, but you're always out there for them. And likewise, they're going to be there for you too. So for ITE students who have just graduated or going to graduate, you would see a lot of downfalls. You may just be the opposite, you would just be the rising star. But here's the thing, life is going to be a bitch. But no matter what happens, you got to always be strong. Because one day, things are just going to get better. If they're going to get worse, that's good for you. Because when things go down, they have to ricochet up. It's just like a bouncing ball. It will go down, it will go up, it will just keep on bouncing. End of the day, you would be landing stable. And that is the main thing, end of the day. How stable are you going to be? Regardless if you're going to be a freelancer or whether or not you're actually going to have a full-time gig. It's how happy you're going to be end of the day. And how happy you're going to actually keep your family. When I say family, it could just be friends, which you call themselves as family. Or just family as your parents, your siblings, your kids, whoever they're going to be. They know where you stand, you believe in yourself, that's all that matters. I think that is one tough question. What will I be if I was not going to be an entertainer? I would have stayed in the F&B scene. I would have just been a sommelier and still being in the kitchen. I think that's where I would have been. If Mr. Goh, you're watching this right now, he is in Australia, he has his PR there, he's from Malaysia. Here's the thing, he knows this for a fact, that I always wanted to combine F&B and media. That's the thing that I wanted to do. I always wanted to have my own F&B show. I wanted to showcase to people that food is everything. People need to eat, and I always wanted to have a show in regards to that. So if I was not going to be an entertainer, I would be feeding people. That's one thing for sure.
Alright, as you guys know that I'm a magician, but Ram told me that he wants to try out like a birthday science magic. Maybe he want to tell you guys more.
Okay, this came as an inspiration as what I told you, that not studying geography, not studying history, and even science was not really known to us when we were in normal technical, right? So, and this is why I wanted to actually spread more with kids, especially in Singapore. And that's why when I got one of my first emceeing gig, right, is actually to do science shows. And till today, I still do that freelance for a company. And reason being is, number one, I want to share that joy about science. And this is why I actually do this for SG Kali and me a lot. If you actually look through at the Science Center, you look through at Dino Quest, even if you see through our very first episode, it's all about science. And science is everything that you do, everywhere that you go, from physics to chemistry, it's everywhere. Yes, there's math involved, and I'm horrible with math, by the way, but yet it's fun. It's life. So why do I actually want to do this science birthday magic? The magic part, it's just more of revealing magic in a science way, similarly to like what Penn and Teller does. So revealing the magic, but this is more the scientific actions. So with SG Kali and me, that's when I'm actually involving science involved in this, because the thing is that I want my daughter to actually enjoy science as much as I do and get her to understand a bit more. Not hoping, but knowing a fact that students who are in normal technical going off to IT, regardless wherever they're going to be studying after normal technical, that they will still have great inclination in science, having fun in it. Because everything that you do, you gotta have fun. You gotta have that passion driven in there. That's why SG Kali and me is there. It's talking about like a daughter-daddy's time, and also to have fun with science.
My name is Lina, also well known as Seha, and
Sorry, I just had to do that. What you actually do on Top List Tuesday and SG Kali and me.
I'm more of a cameraman. I'm also the video editor, a producer, director together with my bro.
Tell everyone what you studied back in ITE, and I believe you did take your NITEC and also your higher NITEC also
I took digital media design.
in 2006.
Yes, it's a 2 years course. For higher NITEC, it was a 1 year course. After that, I went into Universal Studio. One reason why I decided to go to USS because I was a rock climbing instructor before.
And after that, you went to the police force.
Police force, yes.
How long
Just to gain experience, I was in 1 year in traffic and 4 years in CID. Everywhere I go, I have to bring along my cameras. Yes. From there, I will start doing my editings. I realized that I love filming, I love videography, I love photography.
What is passion to you? What is the definition of passion to you?
Passion to me is the natural thing you want to do, thing that you love without you think of it.
Photos or videos?
I prefer videos because photo is just it's just photos. Videos you can see that moment. It's either funny, either serious, or it's either motivational.
Would you go into freelancing, and if so, what kind of freelancing would you go into?
I would like to actually. Maybe we'll go for filmmaking and also stage lighting.
Considering YouTube career,
I prefer in a big filmmaking production.
How do you actually advertise yourself?
irfanyang.com, that's irfanyang.com, and you can find all my portfolio of works there. I am a multidisciplinary creative / designer. So if it can be printed on any media, or if it can be shown on the screen, I can design it.
If you guys are looking for any kids party services or any kinds of your upcoming event, you guys can actually look for me at magicalevents.sg on Instagram. So magicalevents.sg, and that's my portfolio, my works, and everything that I've done every weekend.
Nice.